And we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we will be discussing why do Bitcoin, why does and why do cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum and Bitcoin, why do they have value in the first place? I made this video yesterday and I was just absolutely drained, and I felt like I didn't do a good job of articulating my thoughts. I was on the Karen Hunter show. Then I recorded content for the Academy. I spent about 3 hours working on a new course and then did a live stream. And I just really felt like I didn't do a really good job of articulating my thoughts. So I'm redoing last night's stream, and I'm going to add some more content and some more of, more thought into what we were talking about last night. When you look at cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, Tezos, Cardano, whichever cryptocurrency that you believe will dominate the future, there are people who look at this as a Ponzi scheme. They view crypto as you're basically trying to sell to the next greater fool. And they don't see the intrinsic value in cryptocurrencies. They don't see the utility in cryptocurrency. Why does it have value in the first place? And you have the Austrian crowd, the Austrian economists and people who believe in that ideology, who they don't look at Bitcoin as digital gold, because you can't use Bitcoin for anything other than basically trying to exchange it. You can't use it for cufflinks. You can't use it for industrial uses. And you can make that argument against Bitcoin, but then that argument falls apart when you start looking at Ethereum, because Ethereum has other utilities besides just being able to exchange it. You could stake it and receive monetary reward by just basically holding it, sort of like a bond. You could also build dApps, applications on top of Ethereum. You could even build games on top of Ethereum that people could play without ever having to try to use it as an exchange as far as currency is concerned. So, and as I said yesterday, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, you're dealing with such a dynamic, robust system that it could mean different things for different people. If you live in Venezuela and you are experiencing hyperinflation, well, then Bitcoin is a medium of exchange and a store of value. If you live in Zimbabwe and you're experiencing hyperinflation, like we're going to cover and we covered last night, Bitcoin could be, a store of value and a medium of exchange. In villages in El Salvador, the entire village runs on Bitcoin, right? So it's a unit of account, medium of exchange, store of value, right? And we know that Bitcoin is more durable than gold. We know that you can transport it easier than you could with gold. So I think that it's important that we have this conversation. Now, another thing that you have to understand, and Jeff Booth does an amazing job of breaking this down, and I'm going to keep highlighting this, is that you are trying to put your expectations on what you think money should be. Carl Menger, who basically was Ludwig von Mises' teacher, said that the marketplace decides what is money, not some arbitrary principles and theories that you created. No, we get together in the marketplace and we will decide what is and what isn't money. And not because you can use gold for cufflinks. That's not why gold is money, right? Gold is money because at that time, that was the best form of money. But when you think about this idea that somehow something has to be hard in order for it to be money, or when you start looking at this whole idea of it has to have another use case besides money, well, water has a use case. I would argue that water is more valuable than gold, right? You need water to literally survive. Your body operates off water, right? Like physically, you need that. When you look at food, you need food. Why don't we use food as money? Well, because it's not a good form of money, right? Number one, food spoils, it rots. Same thing with cattle, right? So you can have problems with the monetary supply because you could breed more of it, which would create inflation, or you could go through droughts, which would cause deflation, right? So you would have an unstable monetary system and money supply. You could use oil or you could use other commodities, but they spoil or they rot, right? Or you can find more of it and again, create more inflation. So just because something has a use case and a utility outside of using it for money doesn't mean that it's a superior form of money. And I think that these are important conversations that we need to have. Now, again, that's your expectation that it has to have use case outside of just being money. For me, I just want my money to be money. I don't care if you can use your gold as cufflinks. Like, to me, that just isn't a good argument, because we know that Bitcoin is much more scarce than gold could ever be, right? Gold has inflation to the tune of about 2 to 3% on an annual basis, right? Because there's always new flow of gold coming out of the ground. And then gold is also susceptible to you finding a large deposit of it. In Siberia, in a mine, they just found, what was it, like 60 or 70 tons of gold. That's a problem. Another problem with gold is that it's very cumbersome. You're not going to want to walk around with hundreds of bars of gold to transact. And that's one of the biggest problems with gold, which is why it always leads to being centralized. Because again, no one's going to want to lug around a bunch of gold. And even if you try to make it digital, you have to understand that it still involves you trusting someone. So Bitcoin is a settlement layer, right? So it also is a payment system, and it also has durability. It's highly divisible all the way to the 8th decimal place, right? So all of the features that you would find in gold, you can find in Bitcoin. Now, the intrinsic value argument, that's a fair argument if that's the route you want to go. But again, that's your expectation. Many of these theories and these ideologies around money and economics predates the Industrial Revolution. We are going through the 4th Industrial Revolution. The world that we are about to enter is completely different. So when Ludwig von Mises, who's an Austrian economist, for those of you who don't know, or Carl Menger, when they formulated these theories and ideas, that predated the internet. The internet changes everything now, right? Everything is completely different. And when we're going through this great reset and everything becoming digital, we want some type of a monetary system that is transparent, that is opaque, that we can properly look at. Like, I can pull up a block explorer and I can see exactly what's happening within the Bitcoin network. I don't know exactly how much gold actually exists above ground. Do you? Could we verify that within a matter of seconds? How do I know that this is a real gold coin? How do I not know that this doesn't have other metals or material inside of it? The only way I could truly know is I would have to test it, right? There's no way that I can, with a high degree of certainty, say to you that I'm sure that this right here is a 1 ounce American Buffalo gold coin. Maybe it's a half an ounce. I don't know, right? I would have to physically test that. You don't have to do that with Bitcoin. Now, again, the idea of money versus value are two different things. Because remember, value is subjective. You may think something's overvalued. I think it's undervalued. But I think that we need to make sure that we are framing the conversation the correct way and really walking through this. So, and that's what I really wanted to do today. Because as I say yesterday, I just was kind of drained and I really didn't do a good job of formulating my ideas and articulating it in a good way. So wanted to come back here and redo this video again and cover some more information and go a little bit more in depth than I did yesterday. So please do me a favor and like this video, share this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set all notifications to all so that you will get every notification when I go live. Also, make sure that you join my mailing list. A link will be in the description below so that you could be notified via email when I go live. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and shoot me a DM if you want to dialogue and have a conversation. And if you're interested in learning about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology, as well as being able to learn how to code and build different dApps, we have My Tech Academy. I created this academy. You have a free 7-day trial. You are more than welcomed to come and try it out. It's free for 7 days. Won't cost you anything as long as you cancel within the first 7 days. For those of you who want to talk to me about business, investing, or just have any type of conversation with me, you can book a consultation with me. I was on the Karen Hunter show yesterday, and I think I have about like 300 new subscribers between YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So a few of you have reached out to me asking me about the lifetime membership. So I opened it up to you guys up until Sunday. For those of you who are new, you can come over here to the community section to get that link for those of you who are interested in that. I also opened it up to some of you who said that you didn't get paid because a lot of you didn't have the funds during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So it's open back up to those of you who I made that deal with. You can go click that link and join as well. I will be shutting it down on Sunday, just so you know that. I'm opening this up because, again, a lot of you are new, and I want to be fair to a lot of you who are coming on board who don't want to pay the monthly membership. You want to do the lifetime membership. So, again, make sure you do that. Also, check your email. The way that it works for those of you who are lifetime members, the way that everything works itself out is I'm going to send you dates and times when I'm available. And then you are going to respond and say, okay, well, these dates work, or this date works for me, or, these different dates work for me and these different times work for me. And then once you pick the dates and the times, I'm going to then respond to you and say, okay, I have to confirm those dates with you. And then I will send you the Zoom link and it will be put on the calendar. If you don't get a confirmation from me that those dates or that date works for me, then it's not booked, because some of you are having a little bit of trouble with that. So with that being said, if you can see me clearly and hear me clearly, just type 1 and we'll get started. Peace to everyone in the chat too. Okay, I'm starting to see the ones come in. Good. So we're sitting here right now, and Bitcoin is sitting at $23,000 per coin. Again, you do not need to buy an entire Bitcoin. You can buy fractions of a Bitcoin. You could buy $50 worth of Bitcoin, $100 worth of Bitcoin, $200 worth of Bitcoin. In my personal opinion, I would be looking at Ethereum right now more than Bitcoin if I was looking to get involved. I believe in dollar cost averaging. I do not believe that you should just dive in head first, meaning that you should buy a little bit over time. But just looking at the price of Ethereum, or most altcoins for that matter. And remember, when I'm talking today and I'm speaking today, I'm not just talking about Bitcoin. I'm talking about all cryptocurrencies, whichever one you may be interested in. They all serve different purposes. They all have different pros and different cons, and they all have different product market fits. And you need to make sure that you have that and keep that in mind. But when I'm just looking at Ethereum and it's trading at 650, that's telling me that I have a lot of room to the upside. So I would be looking to allocate in dollar cost average towards Ethereum if I was looking to get involved in crypto right now. So again, I always want to start off with Jeff Booth's thread, because I really think that this is a good thread. He started off by saying the challenge for people in understanding what Bitcoin is and how important it is for the future comes from measuring all interactions from a different system, a manipulated inflationary system that is breaking down before our eyes. To move to a greater understanding requires an investigation of existing core beliefs that were and are formed from the old system, which is really hard because we don't let go of beliefs very easily. Even when confronted by facts and logic, strong emotions make this worse. And although it seems like this is only true for others, it is true for you and me too, which means the journey for most of society to understand Bitcoin and its importance, it's unlikely to be a straight line. Understand that it is a journey and empathize. That way, you'll do far more to drive adoption than scream into the vortex. And again, this is one of the biggest problems when you're having conversations with people, because their expectations on what money is and what money should be is based upon outdated, antiquated, archaic ideals. When you look at Menger, who was the teacher of Ludwig von Mises, who many of the Austrian economists follow, that whole doctrine, that predates the Industrial Revolution, that predates technology, that predates the internet, right? So when we're going through this whole idea of digitizing everything, you cannot apply certain type of models to Bitcoin because this is new technology. And when I say Bitcoin, again, Ethereum, Cardano, cryptocurrencies in general, this is truly just cutting edge, bleeding edge technology. We are looking at the internet back in 1992 and 1995. It's a blank canvas. We have to build out the infrastructure and build out what it's going to be. The idea that something needs to be physical in order for it to have value just doesn't make any sense. Your text message app on your phone isn't physical, but it's valuable to you. Why? Because it allows you to communicate easily. FaceTime is digital. It's not physical. It's just an app on your phone. It's software, but it's valuable to you because it allows you to communicate with your loved ones and see people. What gives Facebook value? It's a company. It's a corporation. It has business. It has commerce. It conducts commerce on a daily basis. But the true value of Facebook is you, the user. And the more people that participate in the network, the more valuable the network becomes. So understand that when you're looking at Bitcoin and you're looking at Ethereum, these are technologies, the protocols that you can innovate and build things on top of. It's not just used for currency. As I said, when you look at Ethereum, when you look at decentralized finance, the idea of being able to transact with one another with no middlemen in a peer-to-peer way, that's value. When you look at tokens such as Aave or Curve, because Warren Buffett likes to say time and time again, he invests in stocks because stocks produce income. Well, tokens produce income because when you're doing flash loans on Aave and you're lending and borrowing on Aave, well, token holders, they get a percentage of those fees that's generated on those loans. That's similar to a dividend, right? When I look at Curve Finance, it says Curve Finance votes to disperse $3 million in fees to governance token holders. So when you go and you buy the token for the Curve Finance protocol, guess what? The fees that's generated throughout that protocol, you get to participate in that. That's a dividend. Right? So when you hear these arguments, again, you can pick the arguments apart, but the arguments, they don't even make any sense because we're dealing with new technology where they're going to figure out new ways of monetization as it continues to grow. When I look at right here, you can come over here. This is a website called State of the Dapps. Because see, it's very hard to build on top of Bitcoin because of the scripting language that Bitcoin uses. Because Bitcoin isn't a Turing complete, it doesn't utilize a Turing complete programming language. Basically, you cannot solve all problems with computation on Bitcoin. You cannot do loops on Bitcoin. That's the problem. With Solidity, which is the programming language for Ethereum, you can do loops, which makes your programs more operational, right? You could more functional. But when I come over here and I look at the different dApps that are being built on top of Ethereum, there are games being built on top of Ethereum. These are games, not gambling games, not a poker game. So when people say, what other utility does it have besides finance? People are building games, entertainment, right? You play a game to be entertained. So just like music has value, think about this. A song on your iTunes account has value. It's just words, it's music, but it can make you happy. It can make you want to dance, right? It has some type of meaning to you. It's just words. So value is always subjective. So when I look at all of these different games that are being built on top of Ethereum that exist today, you cannot use that argument and saying, well, what else can you do with it besides exchange it for value? You could build games on top of it. You can build a trading exchange on top of Ethereum. You could build a literal bank on top of Ethereum where you can borrow and lend and exchange value with each other. Derivatives platforms are being built on top of Ethereum. Tokenizing non-fungible assets such as collector's items. When you look at collector's cards, sports memorabilia, wine, art is being tokenized on the blockchain, right? So when you understand that where we're going with this, these silly arguments that a lot of libertarians and anarcho-capitalists want to make, they just don't make any sense. That's just the reality. Now, again, I want to go here to what Menger said, because many of them, again, they follow this, Austrian economics doctrine, right? It says Mises' teacher, Carl Menger, demonstrated that money itself originates from the market. The marketplace decides what is money, not from the state and not from social contract. It emerges gradually as monetary entrepreneurs seek out an ideal form of commodity for indirect exchange. Instead of merely bartering with each other, people acquire a good not to consume, but to trade. That good becomes money, the most marketable commodity. Again, water has value. Water has utility outside of just using it for money. If you wanted to use it for money, you would not use water for money. People have used beads, shells, cattle, women as money throughout history. So trying to use these straw man arguments somehow that, well, I can use my gold coin as a cufflink or it has industrial use cases. Okay, that's great. But now you have to start asking yourself, does the other properties that gold lacks, do they fit in the 21st century in a digital economy? Even if you tokenize gold, even if you make a cryptocurrency backed by gold, you always have to trust that the end party is not creating more tokens than actual physical gold that they have on demand. That goes back to the problem with the goldsmiths back in the day, where they would give out more paper certificates for claims on gold than gold they actually had. That will always be the problem, right? So it's a reason why other commodities are not used as money, because they can spoil, they could rot, you can create more of them easily, or you have to worry about deflation if the supply shrinks. That's a problem. But again, even the idea that money has to be fungible, divisible, durable, that it has to be a store of value, unit of account, and medium of exchange, those are expectations that you are putting on money. That's not a law that's made by, that's not a universal law that's made by nature. That's a law, or a quote unquote, a standard that you are putting on that. And that goes back to what Jeff Booth was saying about the idea that many people are viewing cryptocurrencies through outdated lenses. And that's one of the biggest problems why so many people are missing what's going on. Now, the beautiful thing is that the Peter Schiffs of the world, the Nouriel Robinis of the world, the many of the Austrian economists and the people who believe in Austrian economics, eventually they're going to have to come and pump our bags. So all we have to do is keep stacking sats, hold on to our crypto, and we'll be fine. Now, this idea that somehow it's a Ponzi scheme because the only way that you can make money is that you have to sell to the next greater fool, I already proved that that's wrong with Ethereum. Because you can make money with Ethereum without ever having to sell to the next greater fool, right? You can generate cash flow in Ethereum. You can use Ethereum for games, so it has other utility outside of it, right? It has economic value outside of just being a currency. And then when you start looking at the fact that this is global money, over 3 billion people in the world do not have adequate banking. So when you're living in these other, geographical locations throughout the world and you don't have adequate banking, well, that's a problem. And in other parts of the world, people use Bitcoin for commerce. They don't just hold Bitcoin. They use it as a unit of account. They use it as a store of value. They use it as a medium of exchange. It could mean different things for different people. And I really just want you to get that. So let's go over here. And I covered this yesterday. I'm briefly going to cover these articles a little bit because I covered this yesterday for those of you who tuned in yesterday, right? It says Venezuela is an example of cryptocurrency adoption during an economic crisis. No other economy facing hyperinflation has come near the South American nation in terms of GDP adjusted activity on peer-to-peer crypto exchanges, according to new CoinDesk research analysis of the data from local Bitcoins and Paxful, the two largest such exchanges. So, read the first paragraph, and then I'm going to read one more paragraph and then go to the African article. It says, previous reporting from CoinDesk has shown that amid platform bans by the government and Venezuelans' unease toward foreign crypto coverage, peer-to-peer transactions remain at the center of the country's thriving crypto scene. In general, Venezuelans cite a combination of factors for the rise of crypto there, including migration, capital controls, risk of government seizure, demand for hard money, and exposure to the petro. So again, another thing is when you're dealing with technology that's a protocol, it's borderless, it's permissionless, and it's censorship resistant, meaning government can't censor it. Why? Because it's computer code. It's ones and zeros. Could you imagine trying to lug around 100 bars of gold in a country where your government's banning it? How do you get it through the borders? You're going to have to probably pay off some, border patrol agents. Where do you store it at? How do you hide it? How can you really freely transact with it? You have to carry and lug around a big bar. To think about this, right? Whereas with this, my crypto's on this little device right here. I could have millions of dollars on this little device right here and carry it around with me. Even if I lose this device is damaged, as long as I remember my mnemonic phrase, I can back up my crypto. I just need to remember 24 words, my seed, and I can back this up. That's powerful. So now when we start talking about government being able to seize it, because governments have seized gold before, right? They've made it illegal to hold gold. In this country, go look it up. I believe it was Woodrow Wilson who did that. It was illegal to hold gold. Was it? Let's look it up. I want to make sure that I'm accurate. I don't want to be wrong. I believe it was Woodrow Wilson or FDR. Was it Woodrow Wilson? Make sure I'm correct. Gold. Make sure I'm correct. Gold ban. Was it FDR or Wilson? I want to make sure that I'm correct. There we go. It's Wilson. It was FDR. Gold Reserve Act of 1934 was FDR. Let's see something. I want to make sure that I'm correct. FDR banned gold. There we go. Yeah. So it was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I want to make sure that I'm correct. It was Roosevelt that made it illegal to hold gold. So again, this is factual. So if you're walking around with gold, governments can confiscate it. They can make it very hard to use it, and it's not digital. And like I said before, even if you make gold digital, you still have to always depend on a third party to hold the gold because it's too cumbersome. So we know that for a fact. In El Salvador, and again, these are small transactions. I'm not making it like this is I'm not making it like Africa is like some big market for Bitcoin, or if a majority of Bitcoin transactions or Ethereum Cardano transactions are happening in these little small economies. I'm showing you that it could be used for different things, right? That it's not this idea that everyone's just speculating in it and hoping the price goes up. No, there are entire towns and villages that run on Bitcoin. There are people who get paid in Bitcoin. There are people who exchange their economic value for Bitcoin. That's important. Again, it shows you that it has different use cases for different people. Right here, it says, when Michael Peterson made a semi-permanent move to El Salvador, the California native's motive was simple and fittingly expected. He wanted a place to surf in the wintertime. Now, in a less than expected twist, Peterson is working on bootstrapping Bitcoin economies in two villages on the eastern coast of the country, Punta Mingo and El Zonte. More than just an economic mission, Peterson's work has social ramifications too. Its primary focus is to provide El Salvadorian youth with Bitcoin earning employment. Again, people are working for Bitcoin, earning Bitcoin throughout the world. So it's just not this idea of we're just trading it. Yes, here in the West, many of us were purchasing it because we believe that inflation is coming. We believe that it could be a store of value and that the price is going to go up. Some of you just want your bags to pump, and that's okay, right? It could mean different things for different people. For you, it's a speculative instrument. For me, it's a store of value. For another person in a village, it could be a unit of account. You want your money to be robust like that. How are people in third world countries going to get gold? Think about that. You have to really start asking yourself these important questions. How would they get gold? And how would they be able to protect it? Right? If their government cracked down on it, how would they be able to protect it? They don't have the means to protect themselves. You don't know if I own crypto or not. If I'm walking down the street, you won't know it. If you kick in my door right now, you won't know if I own crypto or not, because I don't have to have this device. I could just remember my seed and my private key. You won't know that I own crypto. Right? So this is important that you understand how, and be more nuanced in these conversations, right? Here in Africa, it says how Bitcoin met the real world in Africa. It says 4 months ago, AB, because I'm not going to try to say his name and butcher it, made a fundamental change to his businesses selling mobile phones in a bustling street market in Lagos. He started paying his suppliers in Bitcoin. AB sources handsets and accessories from China and the United Arab Emirates. His Chinese suppliers asked to be paid in cryptocurrency. He said, for speed and convenience. The shift has boosted his profits as he no longer has to buy dollars using the Nigerian naira or shell out fees to money transfer firms. It is also one example of how in Africa, Bitcoin, the original and biggest cryptocurrency, is finding the practical use that it has largely failed to elsewhere. Bitcoin helped to protect my business against the currency devaluation and enabled me to grow at the same time. It's happening. So again, I just want to make sure that we're having intelligent conversations with people, and you're not trying to allow people to control the conversation. Bitcoin is huge in Africa. Jack Dorsey is over there. That's the CEO of Twitter. And he's over there trying to basically onboard a lot of people. I know Cardano is really big over there in Africa. So again, I don't really care which cryptocurrency you like, which cryptocurrency project you want to be invested in. You can no longer just use this, these talking points and say, well, it has to have other use case outside of just being money. No, it doesn't. That's what you need it to be. That's your expectation. For many people are looking for something that is censorship resistant, immutable, and they're permissionless. Like, I don't need permission to access Bitcoin. If I have internet, I can use Bitcoin. I can exchange value. That in itself is, revolutionary. Just from that perspective, and I really think that a lot of people are missing out on that. As I said earlier, the network effect is extremely important. As more and more people get onboarded into crypto, that's only going to further drive adoption and further drive value. Again, if you have a cell phone, how valuable is that network? Not that valuable. It's just one person on the network. But the more and more people that come into that network, the more valuable that network is going to become. Because at the end of the day, what you have to understand is that you drive value. You drive adoption. You will make advertisers want to come and advertise. You will make investors want to come and invest to be able to earn some type of passive income. You will make developers come and want to develop products and services so that they can capture some of your economic value. You are the battery. And once you understand that, now you can really start understanding what makes Bitcoin valuable. It's the network effect. It's Metcalfe's law. And if you look at the adoption rate of Bitcoin and the growth rate and the trajectory that Bitcoin is on right now, it's really on the same, curve that the internet was on back in 1992, 1995. And when you start looking at Ethereum and just all of the different use cases that Ethereum has, then a lot of these, talking points and straw man arguments that people try to use for Bitcoin, they just go away. Because as I said before, with Ethereum, there are just so many other things that you could do. Now, when we get to intrinsic value, because people feel that, again, I will not argue with you, silver has intrinsic value, right? Like you use silver to be the fastest conductor of electricity. It has industrial use cases. That's great. It doesn't make it superior just because it has other use cases, right? That's just an argument that you want to make and to facilitate that. So I really think that that's important that we stick with that. Also start thinking about data, right? Because data is something that isn't physical, right? This whole idea that something has to be physical for it to be valuable, it's a ludicrous statement to even make, right? Internet isn't physical. And the internet's pretty valuable to you, right? Right? The idea that your email, it's not physical, it's just an application, right? It's a protocol, but it's valuable to you. It allows you to communicate, send documents, conduct business, do transactions much faster. So this idea that something has to be physical to be valuable is just not true, not in the digital world. And again, you're allowing people to apply certain type of models and structures onto a new world, right? That idea that something has to be physical to be valuable is back in the Industrial Revolution. We're going through the fourth Industrial Revolution where everything's going to be digital, right? So right here, I'm about to get into this article where it says the world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but data. And data is extremely valuable, more valuable in some cases than, food in certain instances, right? And that's another thing you have to start thinking about. You have to look at things in context and not take things out of context. Yes, water is important. But if I have adequate water and I live in a first world country, I'm not really, I'm not going to use my water as money, right? Water won't make me money unless you're selling it. So it says, the world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but data. The data economy demands a new approach to antitrust rules. A new commodity spawns a lucrative, fast-growing industry, prompting antitrust regulators to step in to restrain those who control its flow. A century ago, the resource in question was oil. Now, similar concerns are being raised by the giants that deal in data. The oil of the digital era, and this is the most important thing. We're in the digital era right now. Very important. These titans, Alphabet, Google's parent company, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft, look unstoppable. They are the 5 most valuable listed firms in the world. Think about that. The 5 most valuable firms in the world are tech companies. Think about that for a second. Apple is worth $2 trillion plus as of today. Technology. Why do you think I keep emphasizing and stressing the technology aspect of it? Because tech will rule the world. It's already ruling the world. Their profits are surging. They collectively racked up over $25 billion in net profit in the first quarter of 2017. Amazon captures half of all dollars spent online in America. Google and Facebook account for almost all the revenue growth in digital advertising in America last year. Such dominance has prompted calls for the tech giants to be broken up, as Standard Oil was in the early 20th century. This newspaper has argued against such drastic action in the past. Size alone is not a crime. The giant's success has benefited consumers. Few want to live without Google's search engine, Amazon's one-day delivery, or Facebook's news feed. Think about that. This is important. Just really think about that for a second. How valuable is Facebook to you? How valuable is YouTube to you? How valuable is your cell phone? And the different apps that you have on your phone. What would the world be like? Think about the convenience that technology brings to you. Now, when it comes to privacy and stuff like that, that's a major problem with privacy. And we've spoken about that before. But I just want you to think about that for a second, about how valuable your phone is and how convenient technology makes your life. So when you start thinking about gold versus Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency, think about the convenience and how easy it is to transact digitally versus lugging around a bunch of gold coins. Now, again, I own gold. I believe that gold has a place in the world. I believe that silver has a place in the world. I believe that crypto has a place in the world and in the marketplace. To me, it's not an one or the other, right? I'm not a tribal thing. I don't think in a tribalistic way. I understand that there will be a marketplace for different things. For example, older people, boomers, they aren't tech savvy. So I can see them feeling more comfortable and owning gold because they can just hold it, right? And be a store of value. Because that's what, at the end of the day, gold is an insurance policy and a hedge against inflation and a hedge against your government. Now, Bitcoin is trying to capture that market. It's trying to market itself as that in certain instances. But then when you start thinking about the fact that it's a protocol, it's a settlement layer, and it's a payment network as well, it has other features besides just being currency. So when you look at the Liquid network and you look at Lightning, if those products can eventually materialize into something, then you can have DeFi potentially. And again, this is potentially on top of Bitcoin. Now, me personally, I don't see that, but I'm not ruling that out either. I believe that right now, Ethereum has a firm footing and grasp on decentralized finance. And I just don't see anyone being able to disrupt that. But again, everything's moving digital now. Powerful. So I just want to read a little bit more of this article, and then I'm going to take some questions. Right? It says, few want to live without Google search engine, Amazon's one-day delivery service, or Facebook's newsfeed. Nor do these firms raise the alarms when standard antitrust tests applied. Far from gouging consumers, many of their services are free. Users pay in effect by handing over yet more data. Take account of offline rivals, and their market shares look less worrying. And the emergence of upstarts like Snapchat suggests that new entrants can still make waves. Just one more thing I want to write. So I shared this article with you guys, so you can go and look at this, because data is extremely important. And when you really start understanding what you can do with data, it's your marketing capabilities become endless. Like, think about how easy it is to target your consumer on Instagram, or find like a customer on Instagram, right? Like, think about how easy it is to do that. Then also think about how easy it is to shop nowadays. Like, it's so much easier for me to just go on Amazon and buy something than to go out here and drive to the mall or go to the store. I can just simply sit right from the comfort of my home and order stuff. And within a matter of a day or two to get here. And then with the whole pandemic thing, this only going to accelerate what's going on. And look what's happening to retailers. Brick and mortar physical businesses are going out of business. Why? Because people like to retail shop online. Look how many retailers, right? Brick and mortar stores, big box retailers, either are going out of business or completely shifting online. It's happening, right? So the idea that something needs to be physical, that you need to be able to touch it, just it's not true. We're watching it happen right now. So again, why does Bitcoin have value? Why do other cryptocurrencies have value? Number one, because the marketplace is saying it has value. Value is subjective, right? But the marketplace decides what is money, not the properties that you or the expectations that you put on it. No, the marketplace decides that. And the marketplace is deciding that Bitcoin has value. The marketplace. And that should be, at the end of the day, the context of the argument. Now, again, as I said before, the properties that Bitcoin has and the features that it has over gold makes it superior money as of right now. And it's only going to continue to keep growing. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean that gold doesn't have value. Gold has value. Bitcoin has value. They have different use cases, in my opinion, right? From my expectation. And that's the beautiful thing. Bitcoin could mean different things to different people. Ethereum could mean different things to different people. And that's the most important thing that you need to be taken away from this. And as I said before, if you believe in Austrian economics and you believe in people like Ludwig von Mises or, Carl Menger, Menger said the marketplace determines what is money. And that's what's going on right now. Thank you for the donation, TD Hip Hop. And I want to also share this with you too, this video. I shared this the other day. I want to share it again because this is from Guggenheim.
Of course, we made the decision to start allocating toward Bitcoin when Bitcoin was at 10,000. It's a little more challenging with the current price closer to 20,000. Amazing, over a very short period of time, how big of a run-up we've had. But having said that, our fundamental work shows that Bitcoin should be worth about $400,000.
Whoa.
So, we're going to, even if we had the ability to do so today, we're going to monitor the market and see how trading goes on valuation, but ultimately look to buy it.
Scott Miner, we want to delay the Fed press conference for this comment by you. How do you frame a 400,000 Bitcoin? How do you get from where we are now out to 400,000? Is it just based on scarcity?
Yeah, right, Tom. It's based on the scarcity and relative valuations, such as things like gold as a percentage of GDP. So, Bitcoin is actually has a lot of the attributes of gold, and at the same time has an unusual value in terms of transactions.
Right. Mike McKee emails me, why are we talking about BitDog while we've got a Fed press conference going on? McKee, jump in here and save this Fed special.
You know we're going to get emails, Tom, from people about Bitcoin.
And again, talking about transactions, talking about the settlement layer, the fact that I can just pull up a block explorer, look at the hash, and I can confirm that this is a valid transaction, that this is a valid block. You can't do that with gold within a matter of seconds. You just can't. And again, it's not saying that Bitcoin is better than gold. It's not saying that gold is better than Bitcoin. They serve different purposes and different functions in the marketplace. And this goes for Ethereum, Tezos, whichever cryptocurrency project you want to get involved in. As I said before, Ethereum has other use cases besides just being used as money or used as a medium of exchange or store of value. You can use Ethereum for those things, but Ethereum also generates revenue as well. As I just showed you guys, if you are a token holder in Curve or a token holder in Aave, when you are doing flash loans and lending and borrowing within those protocols, the fees get paid out to the token holders of those governance tokens, right? So it's so many different ways of actually making money, and not just making money, but using these protocols besides just making money. So Aaron Hunt, another thing would have been very helpful for the election. Many use cases for sure. When you start talking about DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, you can use crypto for that, right? Being able to verify that this person actually casted a vote and that they didn't vote twice, or that only this person who actually had a private key could only be the person that voted. Like, there's just so many different use cases for the technology, but also, like I said before, for the existing technology. And once you start thinking about where we're going to go with this, we are early. And this is why I keep trying to tell a lot of you, in terms of employment, in terms of being an entrepreneur, in terms of being an investor, there's so many different things that you should be getting your hands involved in right now. If you're poor and you don't have any money to invest in it and participate in that wealth transfer, well, then you should learn how to code, learn how to program, and start looking for employment, right? If you are an investor, Well, you have your pick from, Cardano, Tezos, VeChain, Avalanche, Bitcoin, you name it. You Chainlink, Band, Nest. You find a project you like and you put your money into it. If you're into privacy, you have Monero, you have Zcash. If you're into scalability and interoperability, you have Polkadot, you have Matic, you have Cosmos, right? There's just so many different things that you could be playing in right now as an investor. When I look at Chainlink, I say this all the time, and people think I'm crazy when I say this. I believe Chainlink is going to be worth $100 billion. I think Chainlink is more valuable than Ethereum. I think Chainlink, in my opinion, from my expectations, from my calculations, I think Chainlink's more valuable than Ethereum. I think when you start looking at decentralization, I believe that I believe any middleware and any oracle has extreme value because blockchains are blind to the physical world, right? For the outside world, they're blind to it. You need an oracle to feed it data. You need it to feed it price feeds, right? If you have sports betting, you need Chainlink, because you have to be able to remember that these smart contracts, they are deterministic and they have finality to it, right? Once it settles, it's settled. So you need to make sure that the data that's coming in is accurate data, right? You can't afford to have, outdated data or lagging data. The data has to be 100% accurate, right? So when I start looking at these things, someone recommended another one. I think it was called API 3. I'm starting to look into that as well. Like there's so many different cryptocurrencies, and they have synergy with one another, and they have different use cases. And as I said before, this is the technology of the future. And the sad part about it is many of you've missed out on, so much wealth creation and so much of this wealth transfer already listening to the wrong people. When will you start listening to the correct people? Right? Like, think about this. I've been correct about everything that I've been saying in terms of crypto. And I hold gold and I hold silver. I understand that value comes from the marketplace. And I understand that price is always the arbiter of truth. See, once you understand that as an investor, like, to me, Ripple is absolute garbage. But what do I always say? Ripple can make you money. If you're valuing your investment thesis on, I want to cash out into fiat, Ripple can achieve that for you. Ripple can achieve financial freedom for you, because Bitcoin's going to be the rising tide that will lift all boats. I personally will never touch Ripple. But again, we're so early that a lot of these cryptocurrencies will pump. Litecoin, I don't see anything innovative happening on top of Litecoin. Doesn't mean that it won't appreciate. Like, when people try to say that Litecoin is silver to Bitcoin's gold, I don't see that. I see Ethereum as the silver and Bitcoin as the gold, in my opinion. That's what I see. Mm-hmm. Mike Brown says, Link, Dulce, and Band, my three oracles. Yeah. Online marketing is always going to be here. Online marketing is, if anything, if you're an entrepreneur, you should definitely be looking into online marketing. I don't see this pandemic going away anytime soon, in terms of, stay-at-home orders, in terms of brick and mortar businesses shutting down. Everything is basically shifting more digital anyway, towards being digital. So learning online marketing is extremely important. I told you guys I used to do drop shipping. I dibbled and dabbled in that a little bit, made some decent money. I recently stopped because I didn't have the time anymore. Drop shipping is basically arbitrage, right? Where you can buy a product on one website and sell it for a higher price on another website. So I can go to Best Buy, get a pair of Beats. They may have a sale where you could buy a pair of Beats for, $150. And then you can go on, Amazon and sell those same Beats for $175, $180. It's harder to do it now today, because once a marketplace gets saturated, then the profit margins go down, right? It's the same thing that happened with Teespring. Like when I first got started with Teespring, no one really knew about it. I purchased a course, FB Ads Cracked, and I was able to basically get 2 and 5 cent clicks on Facebook. You're not getting 2 and 5 cent clicks on Facebook anymore because more and more people are on the advertising platform. When I was doing it, that's when Facebook first really launched their ads platform, right? But again, still lucrative. It's just you may need to find a different way to spend it. I think the easiest way to monetize products and services is to actually demonstrate and use them, right? So you could create a YouTube channel. And I have a video walking you guys through this where like, I have this product right here. Like I have a cow digit, right? I can basically do a review about, create a YouTube channel and simply do a review about this product, show you how to set it up, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Like there are people who create businesses completely around just reviewing products. Now, again, more and more people are starting to do it. So how lucrative it is and how much money you can make all depends on which niche you're in and what you're trying to do, right? You have to figure that out on your own as you go forward. But prime example, I'll tell you something. When I went and purchased this microphone and I went and purchased this this mixer, I had trouble setting it up, right? I came across a guy, his entire YouTube channel is about setting up this microphone, setting up this mixer, and he has different videos. And guess what happened? When I purchased this device, I purchased it because of his tutorials. I learned how to set it up because of his tutorials. And then he has a course where he goes into more depth of how to actually use the mixer, the microphone, and other stuff like that, right? So he sells a course for, I think it's like $50 or something like that. But he created a whole business around something that simple, right? Around this microphone and this mixer. So again, what you can do is another thing, like I have this, I'm about to give this away too. I'm going to give this away to somebody on the channel. This is a Rode mic, right? A shotgun microphone that goes on top of my camera when I record videos, right? There are people who I have a Canon M50. I have also an EOS R. There are YouTube people, right? Because I'm not into photography and cinematography, right? That's not my field. There are other people that's their field. Well, guess what? They have an entire YouTube channel based around reviewing cameras, using cameras, microphones, things of that nature, right? So I simply say this, that if you want to be an entrepreneur on the internet or you want to sell products on the internet, what better way than actually demonstrating how to use the product? You can make a lot of money just doing simple stuff like that. Right? Like there's so many different ways of making money. Right now, there's a new app called Clubhouse that everyone's jumping on. Again, when you get on apps like that and they're new, the upside is just it's so easy to get followers because a lot of people aren't on that platform. So you should be jumping on that platform as well. The person said, what about Dash being used in South America and supermarkets? That's great. That's adoption, right? That's a good thing. That's cryptocurrency being adopted. That's my point. My point, what I'm trying to say to you is that when I say what gives Bitcoin value, it's not that I'm saying Bitcoin is the king and the end all be all. It's where I believe I want my money parked. But Cardano is capturing market share. Tezos is capturing market share. People are using DAI in South America. Listen, that's the beautiful thing about crypto. We don't know which one's going to be successful and be the end all be all. We don't know. What we do know is that there's enough money out here for us all to win. There's enough money for everyone to make money. You don't have to be tribal. When you have the Federal Reserve printing trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars, when you have banks with fractional reserve lending that can lever up their balance sheet 200, 300, 500 to 1, right? When you start seeing this, money is going to flow towards all of these different protocols. There's too much money sitting on the sideline. I told you, just look at the global pension funds. That's close to $50 trillion just in pension money. That's around the world. Remember, these are global assets. They're not restricted towards, to just, America or Europe or Canada, right? These are assets that literally anyone in the world can participate in them. So this idea that, Dash, well, Dash won't be able to make it, or Cardano won't be able to make it. It's just not true, right? There's too much liquidity in the world. There's too much money in the system, right? So we know that money has to flow somewhere. Interest rates are negative. So when you start thinking about mutual funds and pension funds and, index funds, just all these different, like they're going to have to eventually, as more and more regulation comes into the marketplace, as more and more people get comfortable with the technology, they're going to have to come pump our bags. Now, we know with Bitcoin, there will only be 21 million Bitcoin, right? So eventually, it's going to get to the point where certain people who missed out on Bitcoin, they're not going to want to participate because the price is going to be $200,000-$300,000. Well, then that money is going to flow towards other cryptocurrency projects. It's going to you think that BlackRock and Grayscale, Guggenheim, and all of these big funds and Fidelity and big institutions, you think that they're just going to just stop at Bitcoin? They're not going to just stop at Bitcoin. They're going to look at other projects, right? Because they want to make money. You and I right now here sitting in our homes, we're outperforming the best and the brightest in the world. We're outperforming billionaire hedge fund managers by just buying and holding. You don't think that they want to get some of this alpha that we're generating? Of course they do. So the money's going to come. One True Iceman says, Eli, are you familiar with CoinTop? I have Bitcoin on there, but thinking of finally getting a ledger. Listen, I tell you guys this all the time. I am not interested whatsoever in leaving my crypto on an exchange. I lost a tremendous amount of crypto on Mt. Gox. I tell you guys this all the time. Not your keys, not your crypto. If you are tech savvy and you know how to use a ledger, or you think you do, you can even send test Bitcoin. You go on a test network you can go on you can go to the faucet and you can send test Bitcoin. You can send test Ethereum to your hardware wallet and play around with it if you want to, just to get comfortable with it. You can go to the Kovan faucet, the Gorilla faucet on Ethereum, whichever the case may be. Learn how to use this device and get your crypto off of all exchanges, even Coinbase. I don't believe that you should leave your crypto sitting on any of these exchanges because, we're basing this off of the government adopting crypto, but there's no guarantee that the government may want to adopt it. What if they want to be hostile towards it? What if they want to try to figure out, look, we're going to confiscate all crypto sitting on an exchange? They could do that if they wanted to. So, not saying that will happen, but that's possible. Right, so you should be smart and get your crypto off of any exchange. I believe it was OKX. They were having problems recently where one of their founders, who holds the master key to the exchange to everyone's funds, got arrested. I don't know what ended up happening to that. Yeah, that happened as well, right? So listen, you should never leave your crypto sitting on an exchange. Trust me, I should be worth millions of dollars right now. The amount of crypto I had back in the day, There isn't a day that I don't wake up and want to slap myself for leaving that amount of Bitcoin sitting on an exchange. But I didn't know any better back then. You are blessed to have people like myself and all of these other influencers and people who are, creating academies and teaching you how to. None of that stuff existed back in 2012. There weren't any tutorials. Like, I was reading the Bitcoin Talk forum and hoping that the person that I was talking to was a real person, not trying to scam me. Besides the guy Da Vinci J, there weren't really there wasn't any people really making content like that on YouTube besides Da Vinci J. Honestly, like I believe either I found out about Bitcoin from him or was it Jeff Berwick? Because I remember I saw Jeff Berwick on the Fox Business Channel, and then there was another guy, Dimcad. I don't know which person I came across first. Guys, we're talking years ago. I've been participating in so many different things, but you're lucky today to have a person that can educate you and teach you about crypto. I didn't have this back in 2012. Ledger.com. I have a video on my website. I have a video on my YouTube channel about Ledger. Just look through my videos. Thank you for adding that, George Diaz. Do not buy a Ledger from Amazon. Do not buy a Ledger from eBay or anything like that. Make sure you buy your Ledger from the company. I have no idea what the Nano wallet is, honestly. You mean are you talking about like the Nano? Are you talking about this one, the small one? You talking about the small Ledger? Only stocks I'm focused on right now, Ricardo Cortez, is precious metals mining stocks. That's it. Those are the only stocks I'm focused on right now because I know that they're going to far outperform gold. They've been performing really well anyway. And I got that idea from Peter Schiff. That's why I say, like, you know, I've learned over the years that I don't have like that. What's the word? Like a cult of personality. Like I don't just buy into everything that someone says. Right, so one person can't like I don't hang on every word that Peter Schiff says. But some of the things and some of the investment advice that he gives out, it's sound advice. So when he talks about like owning the junior miners and things of that nature, I own different mining stocks for precious metals, and they're performing really, really well. Also, I saw a donation come through earlier from Phoenix. Possible consultation, please check your inbox. Thanks. I'll probably check that tomorrow. Right now I'm dealing with like the lifetime membership stuff because a lot of you who found out about me through the Karen Hunter show, I opened up that opportunity for you. Those of you who want to jump on board where you don't have to pay the $50 per month, just get a lifetime membership and call it a day. I'll leave that open for you guys up until Sunday. A link is here right in the community section for those of you who want to take advantage of this opportunity. Because again, it's only fair. Many of you weren't around for Black Friday and you were not around for Cyber Monday. You just found out about me yesterday. My subscribers went up by like almost 300 subscribers, almost 400 between YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. I don't know when Karen's going to upload the video from the interview, but I think we had a good interview, honestly. No, no one's been able to find an exploit in the Ledger yet. Remember, and I try to tell you guys this all the time. Remember, the idea is that your wallet doesn't hold any cryptocurrency. Your wallet holds your private keys, right? Which gives you ownership to the UTXO sets. So this wallet can generate literally thousands upon thousands upon thousands of different private keys, right? It's not just one master private key, right? Like you can keep generating different private keys. You can have multiple private key pairs of private key sets, private key and public key sets, on this one device. So that's powerful, right? Like you can keep generating new private keys on this one device. You just use this to basically sign transactions, right? Your keys never leave the device. Your private key is generated locally on the device and it never leaves the device. You just use this to sign transactions. And I cover that inside of the Bitcoin course. Thank you, Aaron Hunt, for the donation as well. And Phoenix, I'll definitely check my email within the next day or two. Bitcoin will always crash. It's a baby. It's worth $400 billion. It's trying to find Bitcoin is trying to find equilibrium. It's trying to find value in the marketplace, right? So you will constantly have these booms and busts. We've had 8 different booms and busts. I've covered that in previous videos as well too. Bitcoin it's a new asset. It's highly volatile. It's highly speculative, and you will always have these violent swings up and down. I don't try to time Bitcoin. I don't try to swing trade it or day trade it. Most traders get wrecked and lose money. If you really want to trade, learn how to code, build a bot, and program your bot to trade for you. That way, once you blow up and you lose all your money, at least when you go to get a job, you'll be able to put on your resume that you know how to program, not that I know how to draw lines on a chart. And I was in a Telegram group, right? Think about it. You're going to pay one of these influencers to join their Telegram group. They're going to promise you how they can make you all this money by drawing a bunch of funny lines on a chart. After about, 6 months to a year, you're going to blow probably 3 or 4 accounts, lose all your mother's money, lose all your father's money, and then, eventually realize that technical analysis doesn't work in terms of trying to trade. I would recommend that you learn how to, code, build a bot, see if you could build a profitable trading bot. If not, then at least you have a skill that so once you lose all your money, you'll be able to go get a job and make your money back. But Bitcoin just it crashes because people cash out. And Bitcoin can easily be manipulated, right? You're dealing with an asset that has a fixed supply. There are a lot of whales that own, hundreds of thousands Bitcoin, like they own thousands of Bitcoin or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin, and they could easily push the price around. And that's what happens. Whales push the price around. It happens time and time again. So this is why I'm a firm believer in dollar cost averaging, Ricardo Cortez. So that, if I buy one at 10 and the price crashes down to 5 and I buy 2 at 5, right? 3 times 15 is basically 5. So my break even price is 5. And then as Bitcoin goes back up or whatever asset it is, I sell the other 2 once it breaks its all-time high, which was 10, make back my money, and I have a base entry of 5, right? That's what you could do. So you can sell as you make new highs, and then you can dollar cost average as you make new lows, if that's what you want to do. To me personally, I've never, in all my years of trading, have I come across anyone who can predict the exact top and sell and predict the exact bottom and buy. Most people who do that, you tend to leave a lot of money on the table, right? Most swing traders, they don't get to hold on long enough to really maximize their gains because they sell too quick. So that's what I've witnessed in my time. Most people who outperform the market are people who buy and hold. I believe it was Jesse Livermore, Confessions of like a Stock Operator. It's a book I read years ago. Forgive me if I can't remember the exact name. But they were talking about and also it was another book too, Market Wizards by, I believe, some guy named Schwager. Again, I read so many books, it's hard to remember everyone's name. But they were talking about monkeys throwing darts at a board, and monkeys throwing darts at a board performed better than, people trying to, with all of these fancy systems and algorithms and things of that nature, because buy and hold just works, right? You'll be able to capture more value by just buying and holding. That's just smarter. Again, for the average person, right? If you feel like you can beat the market, because 95% of traders lose money and blow up. That's a fact. That's a fact. 90% of traders will blow up and lose money. Look at most hedge funds. Most hedge funds are not profitable. Most hedge funds lose money. And these are the best and brightest minds that you can think of, and they lose money. So you have to make sure that you're keeping that in mind when you're looking at trading, right? Like reminiscences of a stock operator. Thank you, FK. Yeah, I read that book back in 2000 and probably 11, 10. So make sure that you are, keeping that in mind when you're looking at trading. That's why, I just try to steer you guys in the right direction that's going to make you money. This isn't financial advice. I've been doing this for a long time, man. I'm an OG. I've made a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money. I've chased after a lot of shiny objects in my day, and I know what works and what doesn't work. Many of these Telegram groups, if they had trading signals that were so good, they would not be selling you a Telegram. If their trading signals were so great, they would be working on a trading desk somewhere. Some big fund would be paying them millions of dollars to manage a portfolio if their signals were that great. Right? They would not be sitting up here on YouTube trying to sell you, what's the name? A trading group. They wouldn't. They would just be they would be working at an investment bank or at some institution or at some fund, and they would be managing money and making millions of dollars. Nano X is better because Nano X has more space. This is what I'm holding here. This is the S right here. This is the small one. You can hold way more, much more different, of a wide variety of different cryptocurrencies with the Ledger X than you can hold with this. It has more storage capacity with the X, and you can hold the wide variety of different cryptocurrencies. The S is limited to, I think, about like 5 or 7 different cryptocurrencies. Right. I have this because it came with a pack. At the time when I purchased it, it came with a different pack. I wouldn't. Airdrops are not dividends, right? Because in certain cases, an airdrop is basically like a whole new different cryptocurrency, like a complete different blockchain or different product or service. So no, when you look at Aave and Curve, how they're generating fees, like people are using the protocol, and then they're paying a fee for a flash loan, and then those fees get paid to the token holders. That's a dividend, right? Because that's economic activity that's happening. That's earning that's coming to the protocol, and then they're dispersing the earnings to the people who hold the actual token. Like for example, like you can buy, if you come over here, you can buy Maker. So like you could buy, what's the name? Where's it at right here? Like Aave, you could buy the token, the governance token. Yearn Finance, that's another one. Like a lot of people are buying the Yearn Finance token. You know how I feel about Yearn. I think Andre's brilliant, but I wouldn't touch it. Not for what I'm trying to do. Maker, you could buy their token, and basically you get to vote on what happens within the protocol when you own the token. It's a governance token, and you get to participate in the fees that's generated throughout that protocol. I don't think that EYL will ever bring me on there either. They support Boyce Watkins and Jay Morrison. So I've noticed that like a lot of people who a lot of people who are like friends with Boyce Watkins and Jay Morrison, they tend to not reach out to me or whatever the case may be. So I wouldn't mind going on their platform. I think that they got a nice platform. I wouldn't mind going on their platform, but I'm not saying they have a problem with me. I'm just saying from my experience, a lot of people tend to not like want me on their platforms because of the videos I made about Jay Morrison, Umar Johnson, and Boyce Watkins. People don't like that. So, and I'm not saying that the guys at EYL did that. I'm just saying that from other people who have basically they've done that to me. So, but again, I wouldn't mind going on their platform. One True Iceman, please be careful with a ledger. Like, take your time. Don't go crazy yet. Take your time. Right? Like don't go crazy. I would recommend playing around with like a faucet and a test network. Yeah, Jamel Lewis. People don't like when you make videos about Umar Johnson and Rizza Islam and stuff like that. So, and again, I'm not saying that that's what EYL is doing. I'm just saying in general, that's what I've come across. I got me a lecture, got me some crypto, XRP and XLM. God bless you with those two. I wish you the best, man. I wish you the best with those two cryptocurrencies, man, because you will need it. As I showed you guys with the South Park episode, and it's gone. Also, this weekend we're going to dive heavily into databases. I start recording some content about databases and stuff like that. So we're going to mainly start dealing with Firebase first. That's for the coding bootcamp. So we're done building. I'm still going to do like some basic stuff because there's new people still coming in, but I think it's time to kind of pick it up a little bit. focus on some more advanced stuff. Yeah. He did XRP and XLM. God bless you. I don't know, George Diaz, because Polkadot's a really complex project, and they're trying to like figure a lot of things out. Like I've been like playing around a little bit with Polkadot, and I just think that it's a really, really complex project. Honestly, really, really complex. And I don't think I have the time right now to make a course for it, because I mean we're behind with even the Solidity stuff, right? So I just I don't see me making a course for Polkadot anytime soon. Be honest with you. You know me, I don't lie to you and BS you. Polkadot is an extremely advanced project, and I'm still learning stuff about Polkadot as we go. That project is Polkadot's going to be huge. You know, that's one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. I believe Polkadot and Chainlink probably will outperform Ethereum. Like these are just they're massive projects, and like the technology behind it. Like I even struggle with that type of technology. Seriously, that technology is like when you start looking as deep as when you go down that Polkadot rabbit hole. Polkadot is deep project, and I keep trying to tell people like when you look at crypto, like people think that this is just something that like, oh, you know, it's just a currency. Like this is technology. Like you're dealing with economic game theory, you're dealing with computer science, you're dealing with cryptography, you know, like you're dealing with, you know, high level math. It's just a lot of moving parts with this, so it's not easy. Right, Georgia, I spent the whole day and night yesterday trying to figure out exactly. It's a deep project, man, and right now it's just I don't have the time honestly to go through Polkadot the way I want to. I know Ethereum because I've been playing with non-fungible tokens, and I told you guys I was trying to build my own NFT. So like Ethereum to me is like I know that like the back of my hand, Solidity and Ganache, and using the Truffle framework and all of that, and running Infura nodes. Like it's easy for me to do that. With Polkadot, like that project is just deep, and a lot of the tooling and stuff is getting built. So it's not widely adopted yet like Solidity is with Ethereum. And I posted the article today inside of the Slack group, where Cardano is bringing the Solidity programming language onto their blockchain. So a lot of the DeFi apps that people are creating on top of Ethereum, you'll be able to build them on top of Cardano now. So that makes it easier to have like a programming language that people are familiar with on one blockchain. Makes it easy. Mm-hmm. Aaron Hunt, absolutely. A lot of people don't know Gavin wrote Solidity, the programming language. He built Solidity. That programming language that people use for Ethereum. A lot of people don't believe that ETH 2.0 will work. A lot of people believe that. Remember Charles, who is also the founder and creator of Ethereum. He was he was one of the founders of Ethereum. Him, Gavin, and Vitalik, and then Charles is now the founder of Cardano. He moved on from the Ethereum project as well. He didn't believe that Ethereum could scale either. So, you know, there's a lot of people who were, you know, fundamental in that project who don't believe that ETH 2.0 will work. Right? So that's why they went on to fund their own cryptocurrencies. Now, you have to be smart enough to understand that that could just be them trying to basically, that could be their marketing angle on why they want to sell Polkadot or why they want to sell you Cardano, right? You have to be very, very careful with crypto, right? Because number one, this is just high level technology, right? And different concepts that most people can't really understand. So, you know, a person can really talk a whole bunch of technical, you know, mumbo jumbo to you and make things sound like it's, you know, the next things in sliced bread. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's the case, right? So you have to be careful, like what's going on, you know. So Gavin and Charles could basically have created Cardano and Polkadot just to market that cryptocurrency to you and become billionaires, right? So, right. So you have to think about that, right? Like so you have to be smart about what's going on with crypto. Everyone's trying to sell you something, and some people are. there's a lot of unethical people in crypto, right? Because this is the wild, wild west. So they will sell you a cryptocurrency that, cannot live up to any of the things that they are claiming. Like, how many people sold people ERC20 tokens during the ICO craze? They didn't even have a working mainnet or testnet. Think about that. Like, there were people selling cryptocurrencies, ICOs. It was just a token. They were launching tokens on top of Ethereum. They had no blockchain, no team, nothing. Like, some of these Chinese cryptocurrencies, they were copying and pasting people's profiles from LinkedIn. Like, the whole team, everything about the cryptocurrency was fake. Like, they didn't have a team. They were like even the Tron white paper, they copied and pasted that white paper. Like, back in 2017, man, it was the wild, wild west. Like, literally, people were just buying tokens and the team didn't exist. Like, you would go to the website and you're like, oh, wow, they have all these people working on a project. Because, most people aren't going to really go look up the person's name in the LinkedIn profile. And, like, it was just a token. You and I right now, we can create our own token. We could call it the Common Sense token. Right now, we can launch a token on Ethereum. It's a token. What's backing the token, right? What economic value? What's the product market fit? What is the token trying to do? Like, we could create a token, ERC20 token. Who cares? But people didn't know that, right? So you hear people saying like, oh, yeah, we got this new coin. Okay, well, it's a new coin. What can it do? Right? So you have to be careful, man, with who you listen to. That's why I keep trying to tell you guys, be careful with who you listen to. I've been here when the market is up. I've been here when the market is down. If you look at this chart, I was here this day. I showed my face. I didn't hide. Everyone was, you're an idiot. Look at crypto, it's selling off. You know what happened? Gold sold off too on that day. Everything went down on that day. That's back in March. When the coronavirus first hit, everything sold off that day. I still showed my face. I didn't hide. I didn't hide at all. I showed my face. Like, I didn't. But remember this. I also told you to buy more too, right? And I showed my face when the market's pumping like this. I didn't promote sushi to you. I didn't promote yam. I didn't promote harvest or pickle. I didn't promote any of the meme coins or the food or yield farm. I didn't promote none of that garbage to you. So give me some credit, right? At least you know that I'm promoting things that I believe in. I'm not promoting things that I can make a quick buck. Because guys, my DM on Instagram is full of people. It's filled with people telling me, oh, we'll pay you to promote this coin. I get emails all the time of people saying, hey, promote this product, promote this service. If I don't believe in it and I don't personally use it, I'm not going to recommend it to you. And I may not make as much money as the big guys, but I'm doing okay for myself. And I can sleep at night. You see me recommend this, and I recommend this. Bitcoin, things I have money in. Oh yeah, Terra Tapes. I saw that trending about the Megan Thee Stallion stuff. I told you, this right here, this is my wallet that I use. I'm about to start using another wallet. I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. I'm not going to tell you the name yet because I don't want anyone to run to buy it. But this is what I use. This is my hardware wallet. The Atomic wallet's not bad either, or the Exodus wallet. Those aren't bad wallets. But this is what I've been using this for years, and I haven't had any problems. No problems whatsoever. No, it's not that yield farming is a scam. It's that it's easy to be exploited. See, in computer science, they always teach you at very, 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 very early that you don't mix your computer programs with your data, right? Because unintended consequences, unintended things could happen. So when you look at these smart contracts and you look at how they're structured, literally Ethereum is mixing their data with their programs. So you may get the smart contract audited, but you don't really know what's going to happen until you deploy that smart contract. And you have to understand there's very, very, very smart and bright and intelligent people out here who they look at this and they start realizing like, hey, you know, I can exploit that, right? So because these contracts, they aren't getting hacked. What's happening is arbitrage. They're able to drain one side of the liquidity pool by promoting another, by pushing up another liquidity pool. So they're able to basically drain the liquidity pool by manipulating it. They're not hacking the actual smart contract. It's just arbitrage. It's perfectly legal, right? Like it's no difference than high frequency traders, how they can basically leapfrog the order book and then come back, right? It's the same thing. So this is why I don't promote liquidity mining and yield farming to you guys, because many of you just are not tech savvy and sophisticated enough to be able to really understand what's going on. And that's why I like to keep things simple, stupid. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, God bless you. But if you wanted to go down that rabbit hole, you wouldn't be coming to me, right? Going down that liquidity mining rabbit hole is for people that really understand the protocol at its deepest level and understand what that smart contract is doing. It's not for the average person. And guys, there's nothing wrong with making 10x on your money. A lot of you get greedy and you want to make 30, 40, 50x. Man, just keep it simple, right? Buy your crypto, hold it. If you want to, open up a maker vault, maybe take a little bit of your crypto, use it as collateral, take out a DAI loan, and go speculate somewhere else. But you have some people, man, they're trying to do rehypothecation strategies and, you know, different days they want to use this yield farming strategy. Man, listen, that's not easy to do. Keep it simple. I don't know if Karen uploaded the interview yet. Her name of her YouTube channel is The Karen Hunter Show. Right? But guys, I keep it simple. I don't sit up here and try to teach you all of this, you know, high level advanced stuff, because most of it's just a scam. Honestly, I wouldn't say a scam. It's a scheme, right? Designed to basically get a bunch of newbies in who don't know any better. See what else is going on here. But you could make money with yield farming. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying you can't make money with it. I'm just saying that you have a lot of unintended consequences and risks that you may not know about. There's a lot of hidden risk. Jamar King, what platform can I buy fractional Bitcoin? You could buy fractional Bitcoin on any platform. You could buy it on Coinbase, right? You could buy $50 worth of Bitcoin, $100 worth of Bitcoin right on Coinbase. I always recommend starting with Coinbase if you live here in the US. Mm-hmm. 100% Pix Gaming. I believe keep it simple. If you don't really have a tech background like that and you don't understand what these contracts are trying to do, keep it simple. Mike Brown, yeah, you have to understand, like, I'm in a lot of groups because I'm a troll. I like to troll, right? So I'm in a lot of different groups, and every day you would be amazed how much money people are losing in a bull market. People are getting wrecked. They're blowing their accounts. They're losing all their crypto, losing all their funds because you're listening to a social media influencer. You're not listening to a person that really understands the technology in the first place. So when these people promote Bybit to you, or they promote, you know, these different, you know, liquidity farming strategies and stuff like that, you really think that they've taken out the time to really understand on a fundamental, deep level what they're even doing? No, they're part of these forums and threads, and they're just basically piggybacking on what they heard someone else say. Some anonymous person. Remember, crypto is pseudo-anonymous. So like, you're listening to people who you don't even know who the hell they are. You can't see their face. You don't know what their true intentions are. People are sending money to a smart contract. They don't even know what the smart contract is doing, because everyone's greedy. They just want to make money. And I come across people time and time again. They blow up their accounts. They lose all their crypto. They're following this trading bot. It happens over and over again. It's who you listen to. right? But you have to think about it. Many of these influencers, these people are making $100,000, $200,000 a month off of selling you affiliate products and getting commissions. So, yeah. You have to be smart, man. That's why you don't see me promote any. You don't see any affiliate links and things of that nature on my website or anything like that. Like I don't sell you affiliate products and stuff like that because most of these products and services are just absolute garbage. Excuse me. Same thing happened with mining back in the day. Back in 2016, 2017, you could buy like mining, contracts or Genesis mining and stuff like that. And they were supposed to be mining Bitcoin for you. They were mining the Bitcoin for themselves the whole time. Then they act like they get hacked and stuff like that. You have to be careful, man. Like, just keep it simple. If you're broke, figure out a way to become more valuable in the marketplace. And once you do that, you'll be okay. And it may take you a year and a half. So what? Do it. Become more valuable. I promise you, if you do that, you'll increase your earning potential and you won't be in the position you're in right now. I like to use I always say this word incorrectly, the Gorelli faucet and or Gurley faucet. And all you have to do is just simply shoot out a tweet with your address. And I believe they give you like 35 ETH. I always play with different faucets and stuff like that. The Kovan faucet's not bad either. But I believe with Kovan, you have to use your GitHub and you only get I think 1 ETH a day. So, but then you can go on Aave and you can Aave gives you a lot of DAI. I think Aave can give you don't quote me on this. You can buy like 100 DAI, 100,000 DAI, something like that. So I like to play around with. So the Bitcoin faucets are harder. They're not easy. I haven't played around the Bitcoin faucet in a long time, so don't get me to speak. But I mainly play with the ETH faucets, and that's why I know about Gorelli and Kovan. So just Google it, right? Like you can come here and just go here. I'll Google it for you. Hopefully I don't spell it incorrectly. Gorelli faucet. I know I spelled it wrong. Here we go, right here. So this is the faucet right here, and I cover this in the DeFi course. I'm still working on it because my funds are stuck right now in one of these DeFi protocols. And I'm trying to get it up, but I'll copy and paste this for you. Copy and go here and play with it if you want to. So, and in Kovan you have to use ETH faucets because again, like I said, I've been playing around with Ethereum for a really, really long time. That's why I focus on Solidity, because I was playing around with the non-fungible tokens and stuff like that. But my idea was a dumb idea. But I was trying something, so it may work out, may not. I was trying to create a trading game platform. Sort of like I don't know if you remember that Pokemon Go game. That was something that I was thinking about, trying to create something like that, like an actual trading card game where you would pay, you would own unique characters and then you would have them fight it's a game, but you also can trade the characters and stuff like that. But it just I was having trouble with the gas fees and stuff like that, and I couldn't find no one to really want to work with me. So it's hard to bootstrap and code all this stuff by yourself. So I just gave up. But it was just an idea that I had. But again, it's good to try these type of things on your own, but you need a team. If you're really going to build something, you need a team. Yeah, like NFT. It was an NFT. Like you would have special characters, but it would only be for example, let's say Charizard, right? There will only be 10 Charizards in the game. So if you was able to farm that, then you had a really, really valuable character in the game. So because if you look at games like League of Legends, Diablo, certain swords, certain armor sets, they're more valuable in the game, right? So I was trying to figure out a way that I can bring that onto the blockchain, and people are doing it now. There are games that exist like that. I just thought that my game was a little bit better, how I was trying to structure it. But then, again, as I said, once you start playing with the technology, you cannot do this on your own. It was like no way. And I couldn't find a team of people who really wanted to work on a project with me that were competent. So that's why what I'm hoping to do, this is me, thinking out loud. What I'm hoping to do is that I breed enough in-house talent, like inside of the academy. Because me, I'm a 3-dimensional thinker, right? So I'm always thinking ahead. I'm not thinking like right now. I'm hoping that like I could breed enough in-house talent and then like they can work with me on a project. You see what I'm trying to say? So like now, if I want to, build something, I can tap into my immediate network rather than like, going to some stranger on the internet, like, oh, hey, you want to help me build something? And then they steal your idea, right? So I'm hoping that like I can teach enough people in the academy, get them up to speed. Because there's some people in the academy that are better coders and programmers than me. But I can bring them in and then like share my ideas with them and we build something together. Because I mean, there's so much money in this space, right? Like it's so easy to get funding. Like if you have a workable product, like it's easy. Like it's so easy. Right? Like you have to understand, I always think ahead when I'm doing stuff, I do things with an intention. Like, cause I understand if you do good business, you make more money. Right? See, you don't have to scam people to make money. And I keep trying to tell you guys that. If you do ethical business with people, you'll be surprised how much money you can make. Cause you'll build a good rapport with people, right? Your name will be good if you do good business. So that's what I'm focused on doing because I want to get billions. Right? I'm not trying to sit here on YouTube for the next, 3 to 5 years, right? I have bigger plans. I want to build something. If you look at all of the people in crypto that became billionaires, they've built something. Whether it's CZ from Binance, Andreessen Horowitz, I don't know if he's a billionaire, but I know he's got a lot of money. The guy from BitMEX, Arthur Hayes, like I want to build something. So hopefully I can get enough people in and we build something, right? So there's a few people in the academy. They're much better programmers than I ever could be because I just don't spend enough time doing it, right? So, but that's great. So now I can take my ideas and get them to start working on different stuff. So that's what we're focusing on. Sounds like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, Paul. Like, but again, making it where you can actually like where's my phone at? So what I was thinking about, think about this, like with Pokemon Go, what made Pokemon Go unique is that, remember, it was a VR, like virtual reality, and you could go out into the world and you flick the Pokemon ball and you catch the Pokemon. Like the whole Pokemon Go thing was crazy because people was walking around with their phones, right? It went viral. So I was thinking like something like that. But then again, the amount of work, there's no way you can do that on your own. Like you need a huge team of people with just different skill sets and stuff like that. Like it's just no way. But it was a good idea. And then when I started doing it, I was like, nah, it's not going to work. So, but it's a good idea, man. Really, really good idea. Like when Richard Hart built Hex, it took him over 1.5 years to build Hex. I think he was saying like 2 years. Like it takes a long time to build a project. Augmented reality, Pokemon Go, yeah. Like when it takes a large team to pull off something like that, to really like design your crypto and stuff like that. But again, it was good. It was a good experience to try to do something, but I learned very quickly that wasn't going to work. Yeah, I said VR. I meant to say AR or augmented reality. Boop, 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 boop. Terratape says Gorelli falls at a horrible web page, no direction. Yeah, it is, but listen, that's most crypto interfaces, right? Crypto really isn't good with UIs and UXs, right? So, I didn't know that. I'm just gonna say media. I do not know how to say the name that you said. It looks, it says, here's Row Media. I can't really see. It's so small. Boom, 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 boom. So, but I'm gonna leave it here, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all. Make sure you join my mailing list so you'll be notified via email when I'm live. If you want to dialogue and contact me, you can hit me up on Instagram. You and I can dialogue via DM. If you're interested in learning about crypto, blockchain technology, how to buy, sell, store it, use it, the technology behind it, you're welcome to try out my Tech Academy. It's free for 7 days. I opened up the lifetime membership to, I opened up the lifetime membership to a lot of you who are new to the channel. As I said before, I was on a Karen Hunter show yesterday. I have over about like 3, maybe even 400 new subscribers between Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Like it's like 100 new subscribers over here, 50 over there. So thank you guys for coming over here, and just to show you some appreciation, I'll open up the lifetime membership up until Sunday. If you want to take advantage of it, you're welcome to try the trial out first, see if you like it. I believe in testing things out. If you like what I have to offer, you're free to take a lifetime membership. So 2 of you, one of you finally signed up. It's another one of you I made a deal with. Guys, take advantage of it. That being said, man, I'm out of here, man. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go take a little break, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.